Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Havre save I'm doing on FM21. As you can see, big difference this episode. Not only is it live, but I am here in the corner, in the bottom right. Obviously, a lot of you that will watch will be people who know me, and seeing my face won't be any different to you. But if there is anyone who does watch who doesn't know who I am, well, yep, this is me. You might have seen a few photos I've put in F1 videos and other things, but here I am, live. But most importantly, we're back with Le Havre here. And one of the first things I wanted to show you was with the staff. I have now fleshed out the coaching team, recruitment and medical team is what I wanted to say, not medical staff, as I've clearly blended both words there. Now, not completely filled the recruitment team yet, and I may throw in another scout, but I've never really thrown in directors of football and technical directors before, so we're probably going to leave that. But I don't know why Thomas Becker's now stuck on my screen. But yeah, that's usually as much as I flesh them out, really. So maybe add another scout at some point, maybe even place an advert for one now. I know it's not the best way of doing it. You probably should search in staff yourself to find exactly what you want, but sometimes you just can't be bothered. I've already got 3 scouts I'm happy with, so here we are. Coming into the first episode here, it's a friendly against Belgian Pro League side Havre and Havre. As you can see, it is a completely changed side, all downwards arrows for which call it match sharpness. There you go. So really is the main aim of pre-season to get everyone fit. I'd be surprised if this team does too well. I have no idea really how good someone like Havre and Havre match up against us. But yeah, this is a completely changed side here. Obviously the bench as well I have filled out with basically an entire sub-11, so it may even be a thing at half time. I decide to throw the whole team on from the bench really. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to tell the team they're underdogs again. The assistant recommends it. Whether it's best thing to do or not, who knows? We'll see what response he gets. No real response. I didn't really expect much. It's kind of hard to get a pre-game response for friendlies, usually from your side. Anyway, the match kicks off here, so we'll see how well it goes. Managed to squeeze a highlight right in at the end of the first half. I thought the entire half was going to go by with nothing happening. Although with the way Marsden coming forward with it, maybe I wanted nothing to happen, but we've nicked it back. Koulibaly chucks one forward, which they have one in the air. Ball into Albanese for them. So once again, they come forward. Chuck one out to the wide, but Koulibaly wins it in the air. See what Dazabana can do down the right. Chucks one over to Aliou. He brings it down. Great touch. See, I thought he's probably going to go near post there. He tries to go far, just wide the post, and that will be half time. So pretty drab first half. They probably have, as you can see, done us on every metric: pass completed, possession, shots, expected goals, shots on target, everything really. Corners, 11 of them. It's pretty nuts. The main concern really there is this pass completion just is not good enough. Of course, we aren't shooting as much as them or doing anything as much as them, but when you can't hold on to the ball well at all, 70 is very poor. I don't know if it's got anything to do with the wing play that we're using, but that cannot run, basically. So I can potentially tell them that I'm pleased with how things are going, which I've done, and they seem to be pretty happy with it. So I'm going to leave them on for this entire game. See how it goes. I use the bench team for the next friendly. Hopefully this half can be a bit more active, maybe. We've got, well, once again a highlight here, but they start with it. So move it around the midfield. Again, I have no clue really how good any of these players are they're knocking it around with. Managed to get in behind. Tight angle for him. When a keeper's going to parry like that, you're going to give them a great chance to score, and they've taken it. Michael Frey on the rebound. Yeah, Fofana in goal does not cover himself in glories again. As you can see, they get down here. Very tight angle, really. You just want to hold those, but you do not want to smack it back into your 6-yard box. Really give them a chance to mop up and get a rebound in, which they have done, so fair play to them, but not great from us. Highlight here. It's actually started with us on the ball, makes a change. Go with our left back, moves it to Fofana. Triangle currently we're playing on this left side of the pitch. See, I'm not too pleased with these random whacks forward, but it has worked. Audacious strike from there. I thought he'd take it a bit further, but from about 23 yards. The edge of the D outside the box. Aliou has found, I've called him Aliou. That's a fucking Aliou. But probably not how you say it, but a great finish from him. Even further than I thought, probably looking about 25, 26 yards. A great finish from him, to be fair. So, way to put your name in my books, because again, a lot of these players don't mean much to me at this current time. I couldn't tell you how old Aliou is or what his potential is, or his current. I think his current stars are 2.5. Yeah, whether he's got a chance on this side, I don't know. As they get a chance there and shave the post. Yeah, way to note me, or way to grab my attention is really what I'm trying to say. Actually, will make a few subs here. I said I wouldn't, but no point in me keeping someone on the pitch who is incredibly tired. I believe Casemir is meant to be the person on the bench who comes on the left in the next team. Only 1 star doesn't fill me with encouragement. I might sub some of these that are having an absolute stinker in midfield off. So we'll make both centre mid changes. Remember, is someone who's had a chance, but we'll try Kekta. Maybe have a look at left back as well, because he's stinking the house out a bit. As we give Sacco a little run out. If Bar's complacent, then he can also come off and then Mbemba can come on there. So mainly change the midfield there. I think I've changed the entire midfield 3. 1 attacking sub, 1 defensive sub. Just see if we can see this game out. Just time trickles away. We head into added time. It's looking like that will be the case. And it is. So 1-1's not bad. I'm saying it's not bad. For those stats to be behind them in, again, every metric pretty much, you'll have to take a draw. I have no idea if it's a disappointing result based on the opposition, really. But a good goal from, again, I'm probably just saying Nabil, because I can definitely guarantee that's how you say that. So I'd say it wasn't bad for a pre-season run out. Probably not lying if I say that either. Some alright performances in there. Here's something that has changed for FM21. When it comes to intra-squad friendlies, you can now pick between whether you want your first team to play your kind of second 11, if you can call it that. I mean, they call it that, so. Or if you want to pick between your first team playing what would be for us Le Havre AC2, so like your kind of affiliate, well not affiliate, but your second side basically. Or if you want to pick it from scratch and mix and match however you like. I've tried it on a couple other saves. I'll do one with my friend Toad, which I remember there, I think we either picked second team or picked from scratch, and this screen really can become confusing when you're trying to fill out yourself. And what's even more confusing is if you choose to manage both teams, it absolutely loads your screen. I don't know if it's just because it's the beta version, but really does make it a lot to look at. So I have decided to go first team against second team, not Le Havre AC2, but our actual second 11. Probably the better way to describe it. But we'll only manage the first 11 only, because it can become really confusing to manage it entirely. So if you did see the team there, it's just our first 11 really. I think 5 or 6 players on the bench of both as we kick off here. It does skip any kind of team talk, I believe, which is a bit interesting as well. But we'll see how we can do against our second 11 really. It should be a convincing win for the first. As an early highlight, we do just head that over the bar. Another one here, corner whipped in. Traore does meet it well. I say Traore. That's me trying to read it quick. Thiago is going to be our starting striker, I believe, 3.5 star. Meets it well. He has just become a French citizen, I got in the inbox. Oh yeah, meets it well. Puts us 1-0 up early. It looks like that's going to be that for the first half. Just the one early goal. Not another highlight to even mention. Goes to the dressing room, just kind of give the, I don't know, kind of run of the mill, keep going out there, it's all worth it at the end of the season. I'll have a quick look at subs actually, because I believe my right wing, yes, as you can see, has stubbed his toe. I think it told me, which I don't understand why they make such a big deal of it on this game, stubbed toes, but we'll let him come off and rest that toe anyway. Again, yeah, not too much of a big deal for me, but they seem to think it is, so we'll make that change. As for any other subs, I don't know who this Uragar is, but sure, he can have a go. Although they're recommending Wahib, who I didn't know was on my bench either. We'll try him instead if he's slightly better. We'll see what goes on there. As for that, I may leave it untouched otherwise. So we'll give Boutaib a go. He's not had a chance to play yet as one of my strikers. If there's any way I can try and get, I don't know what position he plays best in. 1.5 as box to box, and we're looking at 1.5 as deep line, so We'll make him come on as deep lying. Basquet is having quite a good game. So I say that subbed off 2 people having good games, although one of them was slightly injured. We'll go into the second half with this team, see if it goes any better or just more interesting. That's probably what we're looking for. Maybe switch to positive to try and encourage that. Straight into a highlight off the back of that. Oh, I don't know if it will count or how messy that is. It's an own goal. See, I was not too sure what exactly happened. We'll probably see it better on the slow-mo. Mayemba's shot is saved, and I think it does just get cleared into his own man. Koulibaly, the unlucky culprit, does put the first team 2-0 up. A bad little attempt from the second team, first we've seen of him so far. So they will have times like that where I forget when a highlight's happening that I should probably start saying something really, and I'll just sit there in silence. It will take some getting used to for me to do things like that. Slight issue here with the injury to Bonnet that I don't really think I've got anybody else who can play there. And if I check on here, there's not too many candidates. Of course, putting the right mid over there is not going to do much good, I mean, because then there's just a gaping hole right wing instead. So we might have to move El Kayar up there and see if we can make a change in midfield that makes any more sense. No, not really there either. They're suggesting Yalan Gomez, but he's only half star as a striker playing centre mid. So I'll swap those back around and maybe grab someone at random here. So I'd try Gomez at left mid instead, as he's probably still not great here, as you can see, 2-star, but a bit more natural for him than deep line playmaker as centre mid. So we'll just have to fill in for us these final 15 minutes, and hopefully we can avoid any more injuries. Have a highlight here. Sure, we'll tell that man to get pressed. The seconds have won it from the goal kick. Brazil does slip through Aliui, who we saw score last game. A much less, well, I mean, it's not even less impressive. It's still a top class kind of first time finish. It's not quite the 25-yarder he scored last game. It's probably more the point I'm getting to. Yeah, nice little through ball to him, and as you see, first time left foot, does slot it past the keeper. So, but again, he's doing his best to make me take notice, and I have done. Probably still not going to take the place over TRA, but as main second choice, he may have nailed himself down. A late highlight for the first here is a whip it back post. It is cleared, however. Now Leo, he's picked it up and sees Casemiro already bombing down the right. Can he commit our defender to anything? Or will he just take a shot from there? Decent save from Gorgolan. It's gone out for a corner. Which I don't know if you've seen much FM over the years, but usually they will play the corner off the back of misses like that anyway, but usually nothing comes from him. And you may see the highlight end just here unless the first team can counter off it. No, yeah, nothing happens there. As we find our way to full time. Oh, one last highlight, Basco free kick. What can he do with it? Decent attempt, decent save from Bafana. It is cleared, and I'm expecting the full time whistle to go. There it goes. So the first team is supposedly run out first. Deserved winners, as per the commentary said in the bottom. Stats do lean their way, so yeah, they probably are. Maybe like a bit of a clearer performance. So that is only the second 11. It's not like I'm playing the under-19s full of 1-stars or anything. So I mean, it's just a good test to see everybody up against each other. Would have been nice to avoid injury all round, as we did get the 1-2. Forgot who it was 2 now, and also the little stub toe for Abdelli, which isn't ideal. I think it was Bonnet there, left mid. So it'd been nice to avoid injury, but that's not been possible. But a nice little showing really from everyone in the squad. Shows we're pretty even, pretty balanced. 2-1, obviously, like as you say, you want it to lean to your first team, but you don't want your second team getting battered. So 2-1's probably one of the best things you can have, really. Although if your first team does batter them, I'm sure you don't mind either, because it shows the sheer strength of your first side. See information from the injuries here. Stub toe, again, they do treat him very seriously, 4 to 7 days. It annoys me when I stub my toe, sure, but I'm not crying about it for that long. And Bonnet, despite being the person who had to get subbed off there and then, only a tight calf for 1 and 2 days. That's not too bad, although both of these may probably not feature in the friendly coming up against St. Prest. But again, I'm not really sure much about them either, but we'll see. I'm kind of surprised here to see an offer from Brentford for our, well, who's currently playing holding mid, Lechau. Can also play in centre mid, but yeah, 3.5 all round in a number of positions, deep line, defensive, roaming, ball winning midfielder in both positions, can cover a lot of places for us. Some nice stats in there as well, some 16s for teamwork, determination, a committed player, the passing's good, the technique's good, physical's well rounded, so especially as well at 26 years old, he adds a bit of experience, but not experience that's gone overboard and you're thinking he's going to be decreasing soon. He's still got a couple good years in him, as shown by the fact that he can still apparently increase half a star. So, in fair play Brentford, I can see why maybe you want him. The money's not awful as well, but I probably will be keeping him in our side. So our third and final friendly of this episode. Again, it is a rotated side. There is some first team like that entire midfield is really our first team choice. Maybe I ought to leave some of them out because they are tired. So actually, I may try and move a couple of the younger centre backs in, just to keep it rotated really, and everyone a bit more fit. Maybe take Lekal out, and we'll go with Mbemba. Holding Brazil actually apparently is also a bit tired as well. I was meant to give a chance because his sharpness is down, which it is, but his sharpness is down, but also he's not the fittest. So I'll play him to half time. It's a bit weird that I've chosen to do it with him and not the others, but I've done it now. So Boutaïb really gets one of his first, well, I think it's his first start up front. And again, yeah, clueless about St. Prest. I don't know where they play. We look at French National 2. See, I'm not entirely sure what that means either, but I can't imagine that's, I mean, it's in France, our nation, and I know it's below us. So really, even with this rotated side, we should be able to handle business. Even being away, I probably should have switched to something like positive or something for the, is it mentality they call it on this? And we'll tell them again that they're favourites for a reason, because, yeah, that reason being we are a better side than them. So yeah, it is the mentality. We'll switch it to positive to try and make the most of this game. We'll see what happens. The first part of the game comes right at the end of the first half. St. Prest with it in their own bottom right corner. Capron comes forward to win the header into the midfield. Get it out to the left to Wahib, who's getting one of his first chances. I think he's come off the bench once, but he's dealt with well by Dib. Great name is Dib. Gets it forward to one of their forwards. Moves it back into midfield. Finds Gutaf, who's apparently slightly injured, out on the right. They're moving it quite well, to be fair to him. Kind of 1-2 touch football. Really nice stuff. Took a great save from Carell to not go 1-0 down there at the end of the first half. They have still got a corner and maybe can do something with it. We'll see here. And our keeper's claimed as well. So good showing from the keeper, but yeah, had to be to stop what's been an even better showing from St. Prest so far. But we do take advantage of it as our goalie thinks quick, knocks it forward. We do get a shot away, but it is saved, and that will be half time. So as you can see on the stats there, it's something again that's concerning me is this pass completion. 82% is a bit better. I did switch to short passing about halfway through that half, as it was recommended, because there was a point again the pass completion was down towards 70, and that just will not run, and it is affecting possession even against his weaker side. I don't know if it's part of wing play as a tactic. Traditionally you wouldn't really be using something like wing play. Everyone knew on the last game that you basically had to use gegenpress if you wanted to succeed. It was one of the easiest ways to succeed as well. You most cases just had to chuck the tactic on, and that was enough really, no matter what side you were. So I'm trying something different here, but if it doesn't seem to be working, I mean the team aren't too familiar with it, and we have got a fluid counter-attack as well as a gegenpress sat there, so it's there if we need it, whenever that be. Obviously it would be different, we are moving the CDM up into cam. It is a more forward-thinking tactic, not only in shape, but obviously with gegenpress you are trying to press their defenders, even at times their goalie, so it is a lot more forwards. You see the team will be told to basically sit on the halfway line, as opposed to where we're told to sit here, which is quite a bit deeper. If it comes to that, we'll see. Again, Le Havre are traditionally one of the better sides, I'd say, in the second French division, but again, never really managed to, I haven't managed to make that climb back to the first league since about 2009, so I'm not quite sure yet either who are meant to be the better sides in this league. So I believe we start our campaign with Guingamp, who I know were in the first division not that long ago. We're probably talking 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even 2. I don't follow it too well to know when exactly they went down, but I do remember them on FIFA being in the first division, so maybe it would be a bit ballsy to try and gegenpress them first game of the season. and maybe we try this and see how it goes. But yeah, haven't quite made those decisions yet. But a decision I will make here is to take off our left winger, and Brazil, as he did, I think he fractured his finger in that half, which why that affects his match sharpness I don't really know, but kind of been asking to come off, so we will take him off. As for any other changes on the bench, not too many that are screaming out. I'll maybe try Kekta for Basque, just again for match sharpness reasons. This may be the last one where I leave it a bit rotated, as I believe the next friendly is against not Guingamp, that's the first game of the season, Genk, who are actually a team who are very successful in Belgium and usually pop up in European competitions, so we couldn't really afford to rock up with 2 stars because we would just get battered and it'd almost be a waste of our time. Make a couple more defensive changes here. Try some people who haven't really had a chance, and anyone really who's lacking a bit of match rating, or maybe look at the 6.5 of a couple of these. Maybe give Yalan Gomez, who is a youngster, they told me to promote straight away because, as you'll see here, buckets of potential on this lad. High finishing, dribbling, first touch technique. Not too slow either, the acceleration could do with a bump, but pace is pretty decent. You can see this guy does certainly have potential. So we'll give him a run out. Maybe take a Bember off and try that Cal. Of course, we did just reject an offer for from Brentford. Hopefully we can take this game a bit more by the balls in this second half, as we've not really been able to do much in the first half at all, besides that one shot right at the end of the first half. But that did come off the back of them, really blowing quite a good chance to take the lead off some good football. So we need to take a bit more of an ascendancy in this half, and he has started the half with a highlight. Not quite sure what way it's going to swing yet, whether it's ours or theirs. We do bring it into their half, however, with Casemiro, who has just come on. He knocks it back to Arago, does chuck one in the box, which Yalan does get on the end of. And a great header from the lad, which, I don't know if you saw his stats, I didn't pay attention to his heading, but his jumping reach was about 12, so I'm not sure how tall he is either, but that jumping, he always stands a chance. As you can see here, one that did just seem to be chucked forward by Arago, but it has landed right on the head of Yalan, who jumps as defender doesn't, finds the corner and does put us 1-0 up right at the start of the second half. So we're looking to take it by the balls, and within a minute we have done. It's a great start. Another highlight here, again on this left side with Casemiro and Uraga. They're only about 1.5 star, both of them. I think Casemiro might even be 1 star when you play him on the left. So kind of interesting to see a lot coming from their side. But on the topic of that, it has now come down the right, but Casemiro's found his way on the end of it. So talking about him potentially only being 1 star playing on the left, he gets on the end of the cross this time from right to left. I believe it was just a great first time finish on the volley. As we see it in slower mo here. I keep saying slower mo, the thing it is just slow mo. Yeah, very strong hit volley. It wasn't too far into the corner, right next to the keeper in fact, but probably the sheer speed of it took it past him. We take this to 2-0, so a lot better second half showing. As we're leading to another highlight here. See what way this goes. I am on key highlights just so you can see, so it will be kind of very close chances and incidents like this where people get sent off. So friendly sending offs aren't too common, but if we got one right there, which may help us potentially score a few more goals. Although I've seen it, especially on mine and Tobe's save in Italy, sometimes players can get sent off and that team just seem to start playing better. It has like an adverse effect of what you expect. Highlight for them now potentially, as they have it on the right. Although their cross, I was going to say it's cleared, it wasn't cleared, it was won by them and maybe only a yard or so past the post. So exactly, as I say, they've gone down to 10 men and got really their first highlight in this half to try and score. But they aren't able to score, and we aren't unless we score one here. We'll see what happens as Capron picks out the cleared corner. Back to Fontaine, another cross which Yalan Gomez gets on the end of again. Got to chuck him on in the second half to see if he can have any effect on the game, and he's had a bigger effect than anyone. The 45-minute brace. Lieutenant may make some subs there, with a minute left, I'm not going to bother. A good showing from Yalan Gomez. Good showing, well, second half showing from the team in general. As we probably take a 3-0 win in this friendly as it comes to a close here. Yes, it does. So what you'd really want against a team of their stature, again, losing possession terms a bit weak, and maybe it is part of wing play. I'm not exactly sure yet, as it's not something I'm too experienced in, but a lot of good showings, as I said, across the pitch, the whole back 4 and 7s, a couple of the midfielders, both wingers, and Gomez obviously does take home man of the match, and deservingly so, of his brace. Again, right at the start of the half and right at the end of it, so fair play to him. But yeah, the shots are a lot more encouraging, and the pass completion after switching to short did improve up to 86, which is almost their standard. However, as you can see, look at that, they almost made double our passes, which is a bit crazy. So we'll think about this going forward, what's best kind of to run. Again, results-wise, it's not really hindered us so far, so I may stick with it, but if it seems like the lack of possession's doing us over and we keep getting outpassed, outplayed by other teams, then we may have to look to changing it. But this is what initially they recommended, so I'll give it a go first, and if I have to make the classic move back to Gegenpress, which in these early stages I don't know how effective it is on this game, but having almost played an entire season with Tobe on the Italian save, where I'm Napoli and he's Milan, Tobe's been running it a whole season, and we have each other in the Euro Cup, as I call it on this game, Europa League in real life. We have each other in the final, so we've both done well in that respect. He's also 5th in the league, I'm 4th, and it's looking like it may stay that way. He's also in the Italian Cup final, to be fair to him, and he's been running Gegenpress all year in this same kind of formation, 4-3-3 with the CDM. I've ran it at times, it's not perfectly worked for me. It's kind of occasionally got me a fair amount of goals, but it just seemed to be so leaky, which, considering I had good centre-backs, full-backs are decent with good centre-backs in Manolas and Koulibaly, I expected to work better than it did, but yeah, it just seemed incredibly leaky. And I did decide to ditch it for more of an Italian, because a lot of teams when you play in Italy will play like a Catenaccio or various forms of counter-attack or route one. They sit very deep. At times you see back 5 formations with CDMs added, and it's a really ugly league where they just seem to want to keep goals out more than score them. So playing this Gegenpress, I don't know why, it just seemed to open me up. I couldn't break down their back 7s and 8s at times, and they'd nick one on break and I'd lose because of it. So I did decide to ditch it and played counter-attack myself, which worked a lot better for quite a while. Went on a great run, moved me back into kind of a confident top 4 position. So I will be keeping, we're keeping my place in the Champions League. We weren't in the Champions League this year. I'm in the Euro Cup final. But yeah, it did seem to fall apart again, and I have switched back to Gegenpress for these past few games in that, and it's worked. I can't really even say a bit better, because I did go 2-0 down to Sassuolo in the first game. I brought it back. We did somehow switch that to a 3-2 win, so again, it sometimes does get the goals, but still seems incredibly leaky. So I'm not 100% sure on the Gegenpress effectiveness on this game at the moment. I've not watched any other YouTube or FM streamer play it so far. I might have to look into it, as these early stages on the beta, you don't know too much about things that are potentially broken or things that work really well. So as time goes on, we'll probably find out that a bit more. But for now, I'll leave off and maybe try wing play, see how well it does. But we may make that move to Gegenpress if necessary. That will be the final game of the episode. I thought I'd do 3 friendlies. I'm considering maybe playing these next 3 myself, and we'll jump straight back in at the league. I may play them on this, I'm not sure. Depends really. Yeah, I'll have to have a think about it. But if you do play the friendlies, then you will see Genk, whoever Patro Eisden are, who are another Belgian side. It seems you just want to play in France and Belgium. Maybe where the training camp was, although I don't think I'd still be on it if so, I'm not sure. And then a Bonnet testimonial, it seems, against fellow League 2 side. Well, you can't say League 2, that's what we call it in England probably, but Ligue 2, I guess, although I sound stupid when I try and sound French. Yeah, fellow Ligue 2 side, Chamois. I'm not even going to try that again. I'll probably pick the wrong nation to start one in, give myself a load of French names to deal with. So I've kind of maybe stitched myself up here and sounding like an idiot. But yeah, so that would probably be our most obvious test so far as to how good we are and how well we'll cope in this league. Maybe how well the formation copes against a team that we know will be playing in the league. If I do decide to skip it, then we probably will play all games against Guingamp away, which I can see being quite interesting. I don't know where they're predicted to finish, but again, I do remember them being in the league not that long ago. As you can probably see here, it was back to only 2018-19 when they got relegated. They were rock bottom. And last season they did finish 8th, although it wasn't completed because of this whole COVID issue. So yeah, that will be an interesting test, especially away. And then Sochaux and Chambly would probably fit in if we do all 3 league games. But yeah, I'll have to make a decision on that. And obviously you'll see in that episode. But yeah, thanks for watching this one. If you think whole webcam and doing it live is an improvement, then let me know. But if you did stick around after the first one, which could be considered a bit shoddy, a lack of live, maybe fuzzy screenshots and things like that, thank you for sticking around. And if you are new, this is what it looks like now. Tell me if you're kind of on board with it. if you're on board with the idea of Le Havre in general. I know it's not a team maybe many would pick or know about, as they are just, well, saying just a second French division side is a bit harsh. As I said, they are a lot bigger than that, as I've kind of mentioned in the history in the first episode. But if you're willing to stick around and see how well we can do in Le Havre, then by all means do, and I'd appreciate it if you did. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.